Have you ever ignored a warning, only to realize it was the difference between life and death? That question hung in the humid evening air as Victoria Blake strode down the slick pavement, her sapphire coat perfectly tailored, heels clicking like a metronome. At 32, Victoria had built an empire. Tech startups, luxury condos, private jets. Confidence was her currency. Yet tonight, as rain-washed streetlights painted the sidewalks in bruised hues of blue, something felt off. She paused, tapping her manicured fingers on the screen of her phone. Her packed schedule flashed. Board meeting at 6, charity gala at 8, dinner at 10. She let out a soft chuckle. A board of directors meeting felt trivial compared to her fortune. But before she could slip into complacency, a small voice sliced through the hush. "You will die tomorrow." Victoria froze. Turning, she saw a boy no older than 7, skin caked with grime, clothes torn, bare feet splayed on the wet concrete. His eyes burned with an intensity that belied his frail frame. He pointed a thin finger at her, lips trembling, but tone unwavering. "Don't get in your car tomorrow," he said. Her laughter rang out sharp and bright. "Oh, spare me the theatrics, street prophet," she scoffed, adjusting her designer scarf. Jewelry glinted at her throat, emeralds to match her coat. The contrast between wealth and destitution could not have been starker. The boy took a cautious step forward. "I'm warning you. A shadow follows you. If you drive, it will catch you." She exhaled, amused. "Go home, child, if you even have one." With that, Victoria turned on her heel and walked away, heels clicking faster, heart whispering a doubt she refused to entertain. In her penthouse office overlooking a glittering skyline, she poured a glass of burgundy wine. "Superstition," she muttered, swirling the liquid. Yet the boy's voice echoed beneath her laughter, a persistent drumbeat of unease. She shook her head, dismissing it as fatigue, and dove into work. The next morning dawned bright and clear. Victoria dressed in a charcoal skirt suit, hair sleek, makeup flawless. Her driver, Marcus, waited beside a jet-black Mercedes. The boy's words flickered through her mind for a split second before she silenced them. "Let's go," she said, voice firm. On the expressway, she scrolled through emails, oblivious to the city's rhythm outside. Then, without warning, brakes screamed. A delivery truck careened across lanes, driver slumped at the wheel. "Miss Blake, watch out," Marcus shouted. The Mercedes swerved, metal groaning as it scraped against the guardrail. Heart pounding, Victoria clutched the door handle. For interminable seconds, they teetered on the edge of catastrophe until the truck roared past. Silence settled like a shroud. Victoria's chest heaved. In her mind, the boy's warning thundered. "You will die tomorrow." The close call seared into her consciousness. Meetings could wait. She ordered Marcus to return to the penthouse and cancel everything. Tonight she would find that boy and prove to herself that chance and chaos ruled, not destiny. By dusk, Victoria's penthouse felt like a fortress. Security guards at every entrance, cameras pivoting. Yet her mind was a storm. The warning replayed in her thoughts as if on loop. Where did he come from? How could he know? She summoned her assistant, Julia, and issued an unusual directive. "Find him, the boy who spoke to me. Someone with eyes on the pavement, a small child. Bring him here." Julia's eyes widened but nodded, springing into action. Meanwhile, the boy, Samuel, huddled in a narrow alley 2 blocks away. He'd never intended to be found. He knew the shadows better than most. They whispered secrets of fate and ruin. He'd seen the dream the night before, a twisted wreck, fire-licking steel, Victoria's screams swallowed by chaos. He couldn't ignore it. Julia's team fanned out, scanning every corner cafe, every stoop where a child might sleep. Time dripped away. Victoria paced her grand living room, emerald coat now wrinkled, phone in hand. At last, a whisper from Julia over the secure line. "We have him." She raced to the foyer. There, under the chandelier's crystal glow, stood Samuel, shirt-stained, eyes wary, shoulders trembling. Victoria's breath caught. Guilt and gratitude warred in her chest. "Samuel," she said softly, voice unsteady. "It's you." He said nothing. His silence stretched between them, a chasm of fear, hope, and the unknown. Victoria knelt, smoothing the rumpled coat at her knees. "I'm sorry for laughing. Her words faltered. She searched his face. "Please, tell me how you knew." Samuel swallowed. His small hand rose, trembling. "I dream," he whispered. "When I sleep on the streets, I see things before they happen. Last night, I saw the crash. I couldn't keep walking." Victoria's eyes misted. "Why me?" His gaze flickered downward. "I don't know why. But tonight, something else. Men. They wait for you. They will take your life and everything you own." A chill snaked down her spine. She reached out, gathering his hand in hers. "You saved me. Now I'll protect you." Her voice held a fierce promise. That night, Victoria refused sleep. She had Samuel settled on a velvet chaise, a blanket draped over his shoulders. Security was heightening every second. She brewed hot chocolate, offering it to him. He sipped cautiously, eyes darting to the window. She studied him in the lamplight. A survivor, far beyond his years, gifted with a terrible burden. She vowed silently that tomorrow they would outwit the shadows. Tomorrow she would rewrite fate itself. Dawn broke gray and tentative, yet inside Victoria Blake's penthouse, a new dawn had already risen. Samuel sat on the edge of a chaise, feet dangling, watching as Victoria moved with purpose. Gone were her impeccable airs of untouchability, replaced by a resolute determination to protect the boy who had protected her. "Today," she said softly, offering him a plate of warm oatmeal sweetened with honey, "you're not alone." Samuel accepted, eyes wide. He'd never known such kindness. Below, the city buzzed to life, but Victoria's security perimeter held firm. Armored vehicles, alert officers, discreet surveillance drones, all silently guarding her terrace. Two would-be assailants had vanished into police custody the moment they tried to approach her driveway. It was the first tangible victory over the fate Samuel had foreseen. But Victoria knew this was only the beginning. She led Samuel into her study, a room of floor-to-ceiling windows filled with books on every subject, from quantum physics to ancient mythology. She placed a stack of notebooks and pens on her mahogany desk. "Write down everything you dream," she urged. "Your gift is more than a warning. It can save others." Samuel hesitated, then opened a notebook. As he wrote, Victoria watched him, each line a bridge between two worlds. A tear slipped down her cheek as she realized how vastly different his childhood had been, and how profoundly he now shaped her destiny. Later, they walked to the balcony. The sun had burned through the clouds, illuminating the city in golden brilliance. Victoria wrapped her arm around Samuel's slender shoulders. "When I laughed at you, it wasn't just cruelty, it was fear," she confessed. "Fear that something beyond my control could touch me." She took a steadying breath. "Now I know courage is embracing the unknown, and the power of compassion." Samuel looked up, eyes glistening. "Thank you," he whispered. She knelt before him. "No, I should thank you." She extended a small envelope. "Inside, you'll find the contact for a children's home. Safe, warm, people who will care for you. But only if you want it. Here or there, it's your choice." Samuel's lips trembled. He held the envelope as if it were a lifeline. After a long moment, he nodded and handed it back. "Stay with you?" Victoria smiled, tears brimming. "Forever if you'll have me." That evening, Victoria hosted a small gathering on her terrace. Friends, advisors, and a representative from the Children's Foundation. Without fanfare, she introduced Samuel not as the street prophet, but as her honored guest and partner in a new initiative, a foundation to provide shelter and hope to children with extraordinary gifts. The crowd listened, moved to tears as Samuel spoke with quiet strength about dreams and destiny. At the close, Victoria raised a glass of sparkling elderflower juice. "To Samuel," she toasted, voice thick with emotion, "who taught me that the greatest fortunes lie not in wealth, but in the bonds we forge and the lives we save." Glasses chimed, and applause rippled across the terrace. Later, as the guests departed, Victoria and Samuel stood beneath the starlit sky. He leaned into her embrace, a small boy no longer invisible. She whispered into his hair, "You saved my life. Now let me build one for you." Below, the city pulsed on, unaware that a ragged child's warning had not only cheated death, but sparked a movement of empathy and transformation. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tales of unexpected courage, and comment where you're watching from. Until next time, stay hopeful, stay brave, and remember, sometimes the smallest voices carry the greatest power.